If you want high-protein cereal, then Magic Spoon is the cereal for you. Welcome into Chicago Bears Now. Shout out to today's sponsor, Magic Spoon. Get $5 off at magicspoon.com/bears. High in protein, low in carbs, 0 grams of sugar. It's fantastic. That link will be in the live chat. It'll be in the description, the comments, all that good stuff. magicspoon.com/bears to get $5 off your first order. Okay, let's get into today's Bears Rumors Roundup here. On today's show, Matt Nagy, is he losing support from within the Bears organization? I'm going to go 3 Smokin' Jays on this one, and if you don't remember the Smokin' Jay meter, 3 Smokin' Jays means I think it's pretty likely. It's not for sure, it's not bear down, it's not 4 Smokin' Jays, but this feels pretty likely. Now, Jeff Hughes, who runs the Bears blog on Twitter, seems to have some sources within the organization. Now, he's not Jeff Dickerson. He's not Adam Schefter, He's not one of these major NFL insiders, but he's gotten some scoops before, so take this with a bit of a grain of salt, but just know that a lot of this is coming from him. He claims that while the Bears normally have a lot of support from Nagy, people in that organization, he couldn't find a single one when he reached out to his sources after the game against the Browns. Claimed also that Nagy could get fired with a loss to the Lions. Patience could be running thin after that disaster we saw on Sunday. So here's what Jeff tweeted. A couple of tweets here we'll go through, and then we'll keep it rolling here. Yesterday, as negativity engulfed the Bears, I tried supremely hard to find a positive voice in support of Matt Nagy. Fans hate hearing this, but those do exist inside the building. Or maybe I should say they did, because yesterday I couldn't find one. He also said this: not only could I not find voices in support of Nagy, I found several who would normally be those voices completely resigned to his end. One text, quote, "If he loses to the Lions on Sunday, he's going to be out. But he's not going to lose to the Lions." Is he? He, not they. And I think that's critical. So other staffers, coaches perhaps saying he instead of they as a unit, there's separation, there's friction. If this is true, Matt Nagy's in big trouble. Like, he needs to not only beat Detroit on Sunday, this needs to be a good offensive performance and a pretty convincing win. You go out there and fart around and lose the Lions or win in an ugly fashion, maybe you won't get fired after that game if you win, but it's not going to help the cause. He needs a big win in such a major way. The clock's ticking in a major way, on double speed at this point. Matt Nagy could be in big trouble, according to Jeff Hughes, and especially if they lose to the Detroit Lions here on Sunday. If you think Matt Nagy should be fired regardless of what happens Sunday, type F. That's kind of where I'm at. It would take a lot for me to turn back at this point because I defended Nagy for so long, and then I saw Justin Fields' first start. Him struggling isn't the issue. Him not getting a chance to struggle, that is the issue. Matt Nagy gave him no hope in that game with the lack of a good game plan or adjustment. So type F if you think Matt Nagy should go ahead and be fired. Because you look at these numbers, it doesn't get worse, guys. 47 yards on 42 plays, hence the 1.1 yards per play right there. 1 net passing yard, 68 by Fields. You lose the 67 on the sacks. That's how the NFL compiles team passing yards. 1 net passing yard, 46 rush yards. Yards per play, like I said, 1.1. And you gave up 9 sacks. I think the game plan was bad, but I think the lack of adjustments is the most alarming thing I've ever seen by a coaching staff. It's unbelievable what witnessed on Sunday afternoon. And then you look as a whole through 3 games here. Points per game, 13.3. That's second to last in the NFL. Only the New York Jets are worse. Yards per game, dead last. Pass yards per game, dead last. Guys, 91 yards per game passing. That's a joke. It's 2021. That number should be closer to triple that than 90. That's just bad. Red zone touchdown rate. So when they're in the red zone, how often do they get a touchdown? Less than 43% of the time, which they're not even in there that often anyway. 26th. Third down percentage conversion rate, 28th at under 33%. These numbers, not just from the Browns game, but for the season, I know it's only 3 games, but they're a joke. They're laughable. They're just hard to comprehend how bad they are. And I get it. The O-line's, not the best. There's been some quarterback shuffling here, but you got a good number 1 receiver. You have a damn good back in David Montgomery. You're not using your tight ends for some reason. I don't know why the hell you kept Jimmy Graham if you're not going to utilize him. It's bad. This offense is bad, guys. It's bad so far this year compared to even last year. It's not good, and it's got to change in a major, major way. Who is your dream head coach for the Chicago Bears? Just let me know. Your dream head coach for the Bears right now. I want to know from you guys who that would be. Maybe it's Kellen Moore if you watch the Cowboys. Maybe it's Eric Bieniemy. Maybe it's Brian Daboll. I think all three of those names would work, but I'm sure there's plenty of other options. So let us know in the comments, who is your dream head coach for Chicago? My dream cereal, I found it a couple of months ago, and that is Magic Spoon. I love the cocoa flavor. It starts my day off fantastic because it gives me that perk, that energy, that bolt that I need, especially after yawning for 2 nights watching Matt Nagy. You can get $5 off at magicspoon.com/Bears at checkout. Guys, 13 grams of protein per serving. 4 grams of net carbs, which is not that many considering most cereals are 30 grams per serving. 0 grams of sugar, though. That's where you're really winning if you are getting Magic Spoon because it's healthy for you and it tastes fantastic. Get $5 off at magicspoon.com/Bears. Do not miss out on this opportunity because it is absolutely fantastic. magicspoon.com/Bears. Go ahead and get going right now. All right, keep our Bears Rumors Roundup going. Nick Foles, could he start in Week 4? I have to give it at least one smoking J because our genius Matt Nagy did not rule it out during his press conference on Monday. Said basically, look, we're considering everything, including all 3 quarterbacks. Obviously, Fields did not play well in Week 1. I put most of that on Nagy, but Fields deserves some blame as well. Andy Dalton's injury status is somewhat unknown. David Chow, Pro Football Doc, says at least October for him, so we'll see if he's available. Nagy says they're considering everything in terms of play calling, in terms of quarterback. I'll tell you this right now. Playing Nick Foles is pointless. I don't think Nick Foles wants to play. I mean, he's mouthing on the sidelines. This offense isn't working. You think he wants to play in this offense? He wants to cash that check, baby. He doesn't want to play for this offense right now. It doesn't help you in the present. It doesn't help you long term. Playing Nick Foles has no value for anyone in the organization. If Matt Nagy trots out Nick Foles, it will be one of the dumbest things I've ever witnessed in my life. The only way Nick Foles should play is if Andy Dalton is unavailable and Justin Fields gets hurt. No other scenario should Nick Foles get into this ball game. So those are my thoughts on that. I got more in a second, but first, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We've been bringing the heat with videos recently, literally heat. You see that house on fire? Yeah, that's because Matt Nagy should be fired after failing Justin Fields. You can go check out that video, which popped off on Monday. If you didn't see it, go check it out, subscribe, and go to the videos tab. You can also find this from a couple of weeks ago, 5 candidates to replace Matt Nagy. We're going to update this, by the way, probably a video either later this week or next week on, I'll probably double the list, 10 candidates to replace Nagy if he gets fired. And then, of course, join us every week for our live watch parties. Win, lose, or draw, we're going to keep going live for every single Bears game. We went live for that bloodbath against Cleveland. We're going to go live against the Browns here on Sunday where we break down every single play with the live scoreboard on screen. We do it all. The latest news and rumors. Subscribe, youtube.com/BearsNow. So Nick Foles, I mean, obviously last year, wasn't great. Offensive line was pitiful in front of him. Certainly wasn't all his fault, but he didn't play well either. Playing him would just be stupid. Don't do it. Just don't do it if you're Matt Nagy. He just doesn't give you anything. Even if he played well, so what? What does that mean? Like, Nick Foles is not a part of the future. He just isn't. If he is, he's the backup. Like, he's not the answer at quarterback as a starter. So if he gets to start, I will be in absolute shambles come Sunday. So who should start? Type JF for Justin Fields, and this is predicated on if all 3 are available. I don't think Dalton will be, but let's say he is in this scenario. Type AD for Andy Dalton. Type NF for Nick Foles. I'm typing my JF. It just doesn't make sense to play Nick Foles. If Dalton's healthy, I guess he's an option, but I don't think he will be. So let us know in the comments. JF, AD, NF, who should start at quarterback? Speaking of quarterbacks, did the Bears owe Mitch Trubisky an apology, or does this fan base owe him one? No. You don't owe Mitch Trubisky an apology. If you want to give him one, fine, but this is fake news. He does not – I'm not saying, I hate Mitch Trubisky or anything, but – you're an NFL quarterback, number 2 overall pick, regardless of who the head coach was. You got to start 50 games, and you never gotten better. Trubisky didn't improve. he's fine. He's a stopgap. Maybe he gets another chance in the future and becomes a franchise guy. But I swear, I don't want to call anyone out specifically, but some of you guys think he could have been like a top 10 NFL quarterback, and I just do not believe that. Trubisky never got better. Regardless of who the coach is, typically you get better. Now, you see Sam Darnold get stuck with the Jets, and now he's playing well in Carolina. The Bears haven't been the Jets. The Bears have had much better structure than the New York Jets. I know that's hard to believe, but it's just a fact. Better talent around him, even with Nagy. Nagy's better than Gase. I saw the other day, Nagy's worse than Gase. No, he's not. He's just not worse than Adam Gase. Don't buy into that crap. I don't think Nagy's very good at this point, especially as a play caller, but Trubisky doesn't deserve an apology. He doesn't need an apology. Guys, he's moved on. Bears fans need to move on too. No one owes him an apology. I see Ryan Clark go on ESPN. I'm so sorry, Mitch Trubisky. I was wrong. You weren't wrong, though. Like, we all saw it. Mitch Trubisky is an average NFL quarterback. That's just the truth of the matter. Maybe that changes in the future, but that doesn't mean that he deserves some huge public apology from all of the NFL. If people really, really thought he could play at a crazy high level, he wouldn't have signed for $2.5 million to be Buffalo's backup. Just saying. Does he deserve an apology? I'll let you guys decide. Maybe you disagree with me. Type Y for yes. Type in for no. Get your votes in down in the comments. Does Mitch deserve an apology? I say no. Hope you guys subscribe. Live watch party this Sunday. We'll continue to plug up videos every single day here on the channel. It's youtube.com/BearsNow. Do not miss any of our videos here on Chicago Bears Now.